mute yourself.
Why is that?
Because they're
Oh.
recording.
I thought it was because Kent Hurd walked in. Okay, okay. I was gonna say, that's never stopped me in my younger days with one of his sons, so. We're all set? Okay.
Maybe I forgot to pay my phone bill.
Plain City did.
Got 2 minutes.
Okay.
Her dad's schedule came out after it closed. So I called Colette and she's like,
How old is she?
she's fifth grade.
Oh, that's just fine. I understand. Yeah, I get it. Josh, you feel up to doing the pledge?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. I'll say the invocation. And I thought I saw, yeah, I did see Rob. Hey.
Did you get on the Wi-Fi?
What's that?
Were you able to get on the Wi-Fi?
No.
Whoa.
Gave up. Use my hotspot.
That's where I'm headed.
All right.
Maybe it's hooked to the air conditioner. It doesn't know.
Bunch of metal in my knee, and so when it gets warm like this, it starts to expand.
Ouch. Ah.
Hurts for March and April.
All right, 7 o'clock. We're ready to go. All right, let's get started. Welcome to Planning Commission tonight. This lovely April 9th day. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Abelman, and then I will do the moment of silence and invocation after that.
Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our most kind and righteous and eternal Father in heaven, we come before thee at this time for a planning commission here at Plain City, and we thank thee for the freedoms that we have, for the community in which we live, for the country where we are citizens. We ask thee that thou bless, that thy spirit will be with us, that we will have a spirit of civility and accord one toward another, and that we will have thy spirit in the decisions that we make and we discuss during this meeting. We ask thee for protection for our families as we are away, and protection and guidance for our community leaders, our leaders in our state and our nation, as well as those who are protecting our freedom in harm's way. Father, we are grateful for all that we have, and we say these things humbly in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, thank you. Roll call. Looks like all of us are here. So I will read an opening statement, which we will follow during this meeting. All those attending should have signed in the sign-in sheet in the back. The Planning Commission is interested in receiving public input and treating everyone fairly. In order to treat everyone fairly, it is important that they understand that the Commission is governed by Utah state law and the Plain City zoning and subdivision regulations. These codes can be found online and contain the criteria that the Commission must follow in making its decisions. The Commission will make both legislative and administrative decisions during this meeting. Any legislative decision will be recommended to City Council for final approval during their scheduled meetings. Persons making presentations or providing comments shall address the Commission from the podium or microphone and not from the audience. Individuals desiring to make comments during the appropriate public comments or public hearing times are entitled to 3 minutes. Persons shall state their name and address and will direct their comments to the Commission and may not directly question or interrogate other persons in the audience. Proceedings before the Commission shall at all times be orderly and respectful. Audience demonstrations such as applause, cheering, display of signs, or other conduct disruptive to the hearing are prohibited. Any persons behaving disorderly, abusive, or disruptive may be excluded from the meeting. The Commission has adopted rules regarding outside contacts, otherwise known as ex parte communications. Commissioners are not to engage in communications outside of the public hearing regarding administrative applications. If you desire to speak to commissioners, it should be done at a regular meeting so your comments, concerns, and evidence are on public record. So I will ask each commissioner at this time if they have had any ex parte communications. I'll start down here with Commissioner Ortega.
I did not.
Commissioner Westergaard.
I did not.
Commissioner Abelman.
No.
Commissioner McBride.
No ex parte communications, but I do have conflicts of interest with Susan Stewart Living Trust public hearing and the discussion, and also with the church discussion and motion.
Okay.
Same
You know the
reasons
drill.
as last time. Yeah.
Commissioner Skeen.
None.
Okay, so I was reached out to by an individual from Heritage Homes regarding a development. I think it was the old Still Creek development, was it not?
No, it's
Homestead
Homestead Acres.
Acres. Okay, and he was asking about zoning and other things. I did my best to guide him through it, but he still has questions. So, yeah. So that's I honestly think he's either going to have to come in for a technical review or come before the commission for whatever he wants to do. Right. Yeah, he's a broker. So, anyway, that's what I had. Let's, now's the time for public comments for items not on the agenda. So tonight, we have public hearings for the Pitcher property from Weiniger Trust and for the Susan Stewart Living Trust. If you are here to make public comments about any of those two developments, wait for the allotted time. If you have comments about anything else on the agenda not related to that or other things, now is the time for you to come on up and state your business. Name and address.
My name is Caitlin Shaw. My address is 4702 West, 2200 North. With the detached accessory dwelling units. Is there a way currently to enforce violations of that? Can there be something added? There's a piece of property directly across the street from us that there's individuals living in the back portion of the property in RVs and camp trailers.
Multiple people.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
In multiple different,
Locations.
well, it's all on the same parcel,
Okay.
land, but there's an RV here, and there's an RV here, and there's a shed that's been turned into something here. And it's kind of a revolving.
There is an ordinance regarding RVs and temporary dwellings like that as well.
Right, so I'm just wondering, how is that gonna be enforced? Who's enforcing it? How do you, like, is that something that can be included?
Should be. We should probably contact the city. Yeah,
Okay.
Dan, yeah.
And if that's already been done and there's still more people coming and going at that point?
Yeah.
Well, at one point, they were all arrested and taken, and now they're back.
Oh, wow, that's harsh.
Uh-huh, yeah, yeah.
That
So
probably wasn't our code enforcement.
maybe we that was a little bit above his pay grade.
We'll need to notify
Yeah,
him.
so I'm just wondering if there's something a little more that can be done to enforce that.
There is
or
time-
added into what's already there.
There's a time frame allotted to habitations with regards to RV or campers,
Okay,
like that, in our ordinance. I would definitely give Dan a call and make him aware of it.
okay,
Okay?
okay.
I believe Dan's online, so he should have heard all this. Are you on, Dan?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can, email me or give me a call, and that way I can get the address, and then I'll jot down the complaint, and I'll go and look at it. I
Okay.
don't think be arresting anybody, but
That'd be cool if you did, but it's fine.
Call the office, they can have his contact information.
I have his number. Would it be more or less helpful if more than one person was letting you know of the issue?
well,
Probably.
at this point, like I said, that's code enforcement is complaint based, and so with the single complaint, at that point we'll investigate it. If there's ordinances broken, then at that point we'll go ahead and educate the people that are breaking the ordinance and let them know that they're out of compliance, and hopefully they'll listen and go from there.
And if they don't listen and don't care?
Then at that point, we do have citations that we can give to the property owner, and that's who that we would end up going after for allowing that to happen on their property. So,
Okay. Okay, awesome. I will call you tomorrow.
All right. Any other comments? Okay, we'll move on. Approval of minutes for March 26, 2026. Commissioners, did you see anything on the minutes that needed to be amended, revised, or changed? I did not? No. Then I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the meeting held March 26th, 2026.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, appears unanimous. Thank you. Let's move on. There was no technical review. And let's move on to a motion to open a public hearing for a residential overlay located at 2500 North, 5100 West. That's the Weiniger Trust and Western Basin Land and Livestock.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to open the public hearing for a residential overlay at approximately 2500 North, 5100 West, Weiniger Trust and Western Basin Land and Livestock.
Okay, have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, it is now a public hearing for the property we just listed. If you have anything to say, please come on up and say your piece, and we will take that into account. You were just up here.
I know, but I was told I had to wait until it was Do I say my name and address again, or are we good, Tammy?
I'd like to hear it.
Okay, Caitlin Shaw, 4702 West, 2200 North.
Okay.
My question on that is, or my comment is, the lot size versus the house size. I know they were pushing for like a higher density in that development. My concern would be higher development means more water displacement of the property that they're developing, which then pushes that out to other surrounding areas. There are homes already down there that already have water issues. I mean, when we built our home, we brought in 10,000 cubic yards of dirt so that we didn't have water issues. So if you're adding higher density of houses, it's gonna displace more water to other areas and cause other people issues. So my comment is that if the density is too high or the houses are larger on more lots,
So you're talking specifically with regards to erosion, runoff, and things associated with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, because once the properties are purchased, the city can't do anything to change anybody else's water issues that they have on their property. So it would be the due diligence of the city to make sure that there aren't going to be issues in the future for current residents.
Okay, thank you for your comments. We'll have the developer's representative address that. Any other comments? I did nothing. It's been a long time.
I just, Kent Hurd, 4455 West, 2575 North. The only thing that I have to say about any of the developments anymore is I'm not against any of it. As far as size, I understand people need homes. You may get down to quarter acres, you may get below that, I don't care. But getting there and away from there is becoming a nightmare. And I haven't heard one word about increase of roads. We're still spending 30 minutes from the S-curve to get to the highway. And we keep adding hundreds and thousands of homes out here, which I'm for. I'm not against. Well, I am, but it's not justified. But someone somewhere in this town needs to start thinking about our infrastructure roads. At one time, you could have run a 4-lane highway right through the center before the S-curves, run it clear out, not taking a house. We didn't do that.
No.
Now, we line up from here. Used to know if there was more than 5 cars in a row, the ball game just got over. It's not happening anymore. Just wanted to have someone know that someone needs to address these roads. That road that goes down to that establishment is just 1 block from ours. So we're interested in what's going in and out there. This new Nilsson thing has given us a whole new respect for coming and going on roads. Anyway, that was my comment. We need to have some infrastructure increased and improved to handle these new situations.
Appreciate it.
Planning Commission? Just to comment on that, we are on top of that, and they are doing the transportation plan right now, updating that. And 1975 does have a grant also to widen and put bike lanes in, and North Plain City Road, same thing. 2600 is unfortunately a UDOT road, and so we have zero control on when UDOT decides to do what they're going to do. But those right-of-ways are minimum 80-foot wide ROWs. So, and I do believe 1975, 1900 is 119. So, but yeah, just FYI.
And along that line, we have opened up our general plan, and we will be discussing it 2 weeks from tonight more. Transportation is one of the big concerns that we have out here. So if you are available, please come. Love your input. Okay. Any other comments? Any comments online? Please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion appears unanimous. Mr. Pitcher, are you ready to come up? Well, I don't, if you're not ready, that's, okay. You need to come up. Okay, before we get started into it, can you address some of the concerns that were given in the public hearing? I think we addressed regards to transportation, but perhaps you can
Yeah,
address the other one.
On the water, none of these houses are gonna be below grade, and they'll probably be built about 3 feet above existing grade with the slope, and nobody wants a reverse driveway anyways. You know, I don't know the water situation out there west. I'm not from here, I don't really live here, but of course, we're designing it with all the applicable engineering standards that the state and county and the city have. And I would think that it would improve drainage, at least on our property, from what's out there, and get it directed
And as we get into
where we
this,
want it to go.
as we get into this with regard to the site plan, you will provide the data to back that up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we
Okay.
have to do the 100-year flood. You know, we have to plan for that, and any ponds or whatever that the city requires, that's all in the engineering to come. We understand that. This isn't an approval of the subdivision
No, it's
by
not.
any means. It's just the overlay. I think that the commission's was essentially, I think it was Mr. Skeen or Mr. Abelman was saying, hey, we're gonna put a lot limit on it, which we totally agreed with, so that we're not doing more or less when we actually get into all the hard work of the engineering and the designing.
I appreciate
There's
you
still a
taking-
long ways to go.
Appreciate you taking the time to kind of address that, even though you're right, it is, we're discussing the overlay, but thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we're talking about a residential overlay, I believe, tonight. And your request,
Yes, sir.
and you're going to
The code was the proposal, or what we almost got approved last time, was essentially the code that's under your 15,000 square foot.
So I believe so you haven't changed anything from, we were just waiting on the Marriott property,
Yeah,
right?
we just had to, where we got that little strip of land that didn't get included, we had to go through the lot line adjustment.
So we still.
Nothing's changed.
We're still looking at 15,000 square foot minimum. We were willing.
Maximum.
Or maximum, no, minimum.
Yeah, sorry. 15,000 square
good.
foot.
minimum, maximum,
Well, we got I think it's 150
Potato,
lots
potato.
maximum.
Yeah, and then we did decide that we would drop the minimum frontage from 100 feet required at the RE15 to 90 feet, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you guys were gonna turn over the 17 point whatever acres to the city prior to completion of phase 1, right?
Yes.
okay.
We all,
That's what I remember, Joe.
yeah, I'm just making sure
Yeah,
nothing
sure.
changed. Like I said, I thought this
Nothing's
was all
changed
said
at all.
and done a while ago.
I know, it took a lot longer to get that surveying and stuff done down there
Okay.
than we thought, because there's a lot of boundary line issues down there.
Real, Jared?
Oh, I could tell you stories.
Planning Commission?
Yes, Dan.
Hey, real quick, on this, we need to have, some type of we need to have a development agreement or some type of, understanding on what their plan is up on the east end, dropping that road into 2500, because those roads are very narrow and it would have a major impact on those residents, making some of the lots unconforming because the steps would be right next to the sidewalk. But yeah, we need to have some type of a development agreement or something, what they're planning on doing up on that east end before, I think things move forward with that.
Are you suggesting we make that part of our motion, part of the conditions on our motion, Dan?
I would like to, I want the developer to understand and know.
Okay.
And
And that's something we would address for the site plan and.
Right.
and whatnot, rather than the actual,
rather than this. Okay, that's where I was going.
yeah.
Okay.
I could answer some of that, though. Mm-hmm. If it's okay, I can.
Okay.
There are wetlands at the base of the bluff there, and so I'm gonna call it the east end of that road isn't gonna be lots anyways, where the steepest issues are and a little ways out. Also, the sewer out at the west end in the main road isn't deep enough for us to get the gravity flow, and so to us it's a shovel handle, but the long end, it starts to rise up so that it doesn't have the appropriate depth, and so we're gonna have to bring in fill for that road anyways. And then, of course, that's also gonna mean we're not gonna just drop off right off the back of the sidewalk. So we'll have to bring in fill to grade those out too. We're not just gonna have a drop off, if that makes any sense.
Cool. All right.
It looks like on the plan that the lots do go all the way up to that 20.
That's what I was looking at.
Well, the engineer, the guy that draws those up we'll lose a lot is what it's gonna go.
Well, I know that there's
Oh,
also,
okay. Okay, because I was
We
kinda
can't fit any more lots anywhere else, as you know, and that's a wetland lot. It's the way it is. They don't.
there's an active spring right there anyway.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Mr. Singleton told me that. So whether it was wetlands or not, it is wetlands, so it doesn't matter, and we're not gonna mitigate around them. So we're losing a lot. That's as simple.
So as far as tonight, though, we're just approving
The overlay.
the overlay, and then you'll have to bring back the subdivision plans and whatnot, and then we'll address those things
Yeah, 100%
at that
understood.
point.
Now, I also remember a conversation that we had with regards to that overlay, is the numbers that you are giving us on this overlay, if we were just to do the zone itself, you would almost have
They're only
the same
increasing
amount,
by
if not,
4 or 5 lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
regards to
increasing
that.
by quite a few lots. That's one thing that I
so
think,
density-wise, it would be the
I-
same amount of units.
I think a lot of people weren't understanding is, yeah, we were allowing smaller lots in exchange for the 17 acres, but it wasn't really increasing the amount of lots in the subdivision. They
Right.
were, I think, what was it, 150 something, and now it's 161?
It's 151 now. I think it's 18 lots is what it actually
Yeah,
get for
minus the
giving
one
you
at
the
the
17. Yeah, now.
top of the bluff now, so,
But there's also one lot, not that you guys can always see it, but one lot to the southwest he's drawn in. It's only, I think, 12,000 square feet, so that'll have to get fixed.
gotcha.
So things will move around, when we find these problems, when we really get into the engineering, but we understand we'll probably only end up with 150 and maybe even lose one there. And then we also have the big ditch that's across the back there. That may make us lose another lot.
Okay.
So we just,
Well, I think
hopefully we
when we
can-
do our motion, we just include in our motion that it's a maximum 151 lots, maximum, or minimum 15,000 square foot with a 90-foot minimum width, and the 17.19 acres donated to the city prior to approval of Phase 1, and let them put the houses where they can fit them at that point.
What did you say for the widths?
90
90.
foot
Yeah, okay.
minimum frontage.
I didn't read your 15,000 square foot code, but somebody had proposed that the lots would meet that code. I don't know if that's good or bad, or if that clarifies things
Yeah,
better.
I think, and our 15,000 is pretty much the same as 18.5,
And it doesn't
other than the square footage, and that's where, that was a 100-foot minimum frontage, but we were, with it being an overlay, we're able to decrease that to the 90-foot to make
Awesome.
it easier
Okay.
for you guys. as
Yeah, I
far-
remember they agreed to the same setbacks and everything.
Yeah, the setbacks and all that are still the same.
All the same as the 15,000.
But we'd have the 90-foot,
Variation is the
90-foot front.
Yes, yes.
Side yards are still the same, the 24 feet.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you have a plan for what you're gonna do with that wetland, that strip on the east side of the 2,500? Or do you have to fence that off, or what do you think you're gonna do with it?
We don't.
It doesn't matter for this.
No, yeah, the Army Corps either, Does the city want that property? That would be our best option.
Well, 1, 2, 3, not it, kind of thing.
So,
Dan is right now online, like, just glaring.
Yeah.
Don't you dare. Okay.
yeah,
City want that property.
essentially that gets put in some sort of trust where it can never be sold, or it's a restricted lot, so we might give it a lot number, but it would be restricted from being built on, and so the developer would have to retain it essentially indefinitely, and
There might be
That's
somebody
basically it,
that
unless-
borders that property that's willing to
yeah,
take it over.
exactly.
You
Let
know?
them encroach up to the creek and let them
You'd
put
be open
horses
to
or something. Yeah.
That's the best pasture grass on that whole property right there. Is right
You're
where-
100% right, it is. I've been in there and it stays green, so, yeah, and we wouldn't have any problem with it if we end up calling it it's just gonna be a restricted lot.
Gotcha.
And nobody's gonna, I mean, there's nothing we can do with it.
Any further questions? All right.
I know this doesn't have to do with the rezone particularly, but I know Dan's brought it up a few times, so I just kinda wanna make sure. that- So coming to 2500 north up, or, north up there, there may be some significant off-site improvements there that have to be done to
2500
accommodate
north
the
is the
road
one that
width.
comes up into town?
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I mean, that's a single lane road essentially that you're gonna be tying into, so when the subdivision comes through as part of the you know what I mean, there's gonna
Yeah,
probably
we
be.
understand we might
Okay.
have to grind that road, replace the road, widen the road. We get that there's offsite improvements with every subdivision, and and I don't want it to hold us up, but there's actually, when you guys recorded your city back in whenever it was, they took like 5 feet past that road, and so the city actually owns a strip there that's like 5 feet wide. And we have to, but it might be owned by the judge because nobody knows. So
Well, I
I
think
don't know if
there's
you have any idea what we're talking
The
about.
question is which judge?
I think that there is an actual road that the city owns that goes north and south, right at the top of that bluff.
There is, but if you look at your old city, when you perfected it from the federal government, they drew that line over that road a couple of feet, and so it's actually clouded title is what it comes down to. If the judge deeded it to the city before he died, then it's city property and we don't have a problem because it's gonna be part of our road anyways.
Yeah.
If he didn't, we have to go through a quiet title action to get that tiny little 2 feet by like 5 feet. It's
It
kinda
sounds like
awkward.
we're all gonna be dead by the time this subdivision gets done anyway, so.
No, quiet title's no big deal, but yeah, we realize the point being, we've looked at it in depth and we know there's the wetland, the slope is steeper than is allowed by road code, and we know that road is
Okay.
not a great road.
Okay.
Anything else? All right. Ready for a motion? I'll entertain one. Right, because city council was canceled. Okay, so we have to make that part of our motion, right? For your email.
I missed that part.
So because the other property was up for discussion, motion last week during city council, which Commissioner Westgard will tell us was canceled last week because they didn't have a quorum. So that was not, the rezone was not passed.
Oh, okay.
So we have to
just
make it
need to contingent on the
Correct.
rezone of the Western Basin. Okay.
Thank you, Tammy. All right.
A lot of words.
Yes, it is.
You're writing it all down, I'll let you do it.
I'm copying off Jared.
I can make an attempt if you guys,
If you,
you
yeah,
don't have to second it if it's screwed up, so.
Okay.
I'm just, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm cross-referencing mine.
Okay. All right.
You done? Justin say he's got it?
I'm just cross-referencing my notes with his, so if you're feeling good, go for it.
Well, I'm just gonna wing it, so,
Okay.
All right, let's hear it.
all right. See if I got enough papers here and a flashlight so I can see, 'cause I'm blind. All right, I'll make a motion to approve or recommend approval for a residential overlay at approximately 2,500 north, 5,100 west, Weiniger Trust and Western Basin Land and Livestock, contingent on the approval of the rezone of parcel number 190340020, with stipulation that the 17.19 acres will be donated to the city prior to approval of Phase 1, that all lots adhere to the 15,000, RE15 zoning, other than the 90-foot, we will allow 90-foot minimum widths, and the maximum amount of lots for the development be at 151 lots.
15,000, RE 15. Nice work.
Did I miss anything?
That's everything I got.
Call for a second.
I've
then.
been
Let's get-
taking notes at meetings all day long today, so I've been, just got that going on.
So, sorry.
okay,
Is it
got a motion.
approval of Phase 1 or is it recordation of Phase 1? Because approval, long before we record.
I think the phases are this is
Yeah, don't we,
overall first.
whatever we have to do before we start Phase 2.
Yeah,
So I don't know if you have to have approval of Phase 1, if you have to have
we
record.
will.
Is what happens is you guys would approve, like say, okay, you're good to go and break ground, it's right?
Not for this, you'd have to come back for
No.
site plan.
No, I know.
Okay.
Is what I'm getting at is he said that we would donate the 17 acres prior to approval.
Got it.
Phase 1.
Okay.
And there's a big difference between approving it and recording it.
Okay, and I was just thinking
Amend it?
approval to
Upon approval.
the point where we can grant you guys building permits to start building houses.
And that's fine, but
That's, we,
that's, yeah.
Yeah.
But
No.
that would be, okay, I think you understand.
yeah,
Okay.
I see what you're saying,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, right out of the gate, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so the trade-off is, okay, here's the subdivision started, here's our park, right?
Yep. Or whatever we're going, the lot.
Whatever it
located.
is, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So we're not building Phase 1, and then at the end of Phase 1, before we do 2, we're
I think his
Gaining it.
concern is that he's not doing that before the approval of that.
Yeah, that's kind of what my impression was we wouldn't grant building permits for Phase 1 until the 17 acres was turned over to the city.
Okay, all right.
They can go through and do whatever they want with Phase 1, but we weren't gonna grant building permits
Okay.
until the 17 acre, and just to avoid
Yeah,
Okay.
not waiting till the end of the
End
subdivision.
of it, yeah. Okay, that's good, perfect, yep.
That will
That
happen
kind of what we
after
were,
the-
that's what I understand, but
Okay.
just to be
Right.
clear, there's a difference between you guys approving us to approving our plans, because that's
no,
technically.
no, I meant like a.
And then we build, and then we put up the bond, and it's essentially before recordation.
So you want me to redo that?
No, as long as we're clear, it's on the record.
And Josh, I didn't catch, you recommended, right?
Recommended
Okay,
approval,
perfect.
yeah.
I didn't catch that, so I think, as far as I can see.
Yeah, I think. we're good.
We need a second, though.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion appears unanimous. Thank you,
I
Mr.
want to
Pitcher.
thank you for being good to work with. Appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. Now, we will have a public hearing for a rezone from A1 to RE30 for a property located at 5500 West, 2050 North. That is the Susan Stewart Living Trust. So I will entertain a motion for that public hearing.
I'm leaving.
All right.
I gotta recuse myself. So.
And Commissioner McBride is recusing himself. I still need a motion.
That means Westergaard can.
That means you're voting.
He can make that motion.
Yeah, you can make motion. All right, rookie.
It won't be as long as what Josh just did.
Okay, that's okay.
So make a motion to open the public hearing for the rezone from A1 to RE30 at approximately 5500 west to 2050 north. Susan Stewart Living Trust.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, now is a public hearing for that said property on that location. So if you have any concerns, you want to voice your opinion on anything, please come forward and state your business. I don't see anybody. All right, anybody? Oh. Well, you just want a participation trophy tonight, don't you?
Do I get one?
I wish we had trophies to give out.
Okay, that'd be cool. Caitlin Shaw, 4702 West, 2200 North. My comment, it's similar to a comment that I've already made with regards to the Weiniger development, is just the traffic that's gonna increase on 2200. And how to enforce without having to have sheriffs monitoring all the time, because they're under,
You talking water shares?
no, traffic.
Traffic,
And
okay, excuse me.
Teenagers that really like to drive fast, and,
Teenagers do that?
oh my gosh, let me
Okay.
tell you, their drag racing at 1 o'clock in the morning is getting kind of old, guys. So just wondering if there's a traffic study that can be done prior to, approval of subdivisions that are gonna have a large impact. If there's a way to make the lot sizes, the density of it. Because, yeah, I can't tell you the number of times I sit in my driveway and wait. There's just certain times of day you don't leave right now, and there's not all the new development going on. So it's only gonna get worse. I understand that 46 and 22 is like right at that subdivision is state-owned, so Dan's great. I'm not coming at you, Dan, at all. Talked to Dan a lot about it. It's state-owned, so Dan's hands are tied. I know there's been money, grant money for a crosswalk contingent upon sidewalks, but then you have to have the sidewalks that aren't there yet, it's just a big cluster. So
Okay.
just making sure that that's taken into consideration before approving more houses to be put in.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Dan, any reply to that at all?
Well, with the traffic, like I said, it's at that point the sheriffs are doing what they can to regulate. We try to, and it's not just teenagers. I was standing on Happy's the other day, and
It's true.
now I know where to get from. So just saying.
You've got a very valid point, yeah.
Anyways, and at that point, yes, we take a lot of stuff into consideration with new subdivisions, building. We do require all improvements, sidewalk, curb, gutter, and at that point, it gives us a place where when we do have our grants, we can tie them in and make that connectivity. And we've added a lot of trails and a lot of sidewalks within the last 7.5 years, and we're going to continue to do that. So,
Okay.
like I said, we've got a great engineer staff and awesome public works director, and great planning commission that looks at everything,
Uh-huh.
and council. But like you said, we have great staff and as we move forward.
Okay. Very good. All right, do we have a representative?
Do we gotta close it?
Oh, we've got to close the public hearing first.
Is there anybody online?
Thank you,
Okay, seeing none, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, now, let's have a discussion motion for the rezone from an A1 to an RE30 for the Susan Stewart Trust. Is someone here to present?
How are you? Carson Jones, 750 West, 4300 North. Here to go over this plan again.
Okay,
So right now, this is a pretty straightforward, meets the land use for the city, meets the future land use for the city. We tried this before, getting half-acre lots, and there was the pushback. So we came and revised it to what the city had the land use put
Okay.
in force for, and now we're just kind of asking to go forward like the city had envisioned.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that as well. Thank you.
Yeah,
So RE 30, that's 3/4 acre lots essentially.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's nice. It's good sized lots. I do think there's a
I
demand
mean,
for those.
there's, people like them,
Mm-hmm.
so gives it a rural feel for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This, it's gonna be beautiful out there. It's fantastic, super easy to build on. Water levels good enough to where it's not prohibitive. But not gonna be a whole lot of deep basements out, no sports courts, but,
No,
You know.
no deep basements, no sports.
no,
courts, no. When they say water level, we just say yes.
yeah, for sure. We hit it at 6 feet every time.
And probably more shallow depending on the
Sure.
time of year.
Yeah, but this one is pretty straightforward, and it matches everything that the city has asked for.
Okay.
For a while.
Any further questions from the commission? Okay,
I don't think so.
I will entertain a motion.
Oh,
Josh?
I'm just looking at our future land use map, and it's showing, low-density residential, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I go to our 2018 general plan, and it's saying low-density residential is 40,000 square foot.
For our 2018, yeah?
When's our updated plan? Does that make sense?
I'm not sure I follow.
He's saying that the general plan says 40,000.
Right. And the future land use, I believe, says A1, does it not? That's what you understood, right?
Yes, that is what I understood.
And because it says A1, then you can go to the
The 30,000
30.
feet, yes.
according to the,
That's where we took this plan based off of the future land.
right,
Okay, so we're following the A1
Yes,
right,
versus the future land use map.
yep,
correct.
Okay. That's what was throwing me off, because I'm looking at the future land use map, and the way that it's got it zoned was low-density residential, which then I go to the general plan, and it's got low-density residential as 40,000
Right.
square foot lots.
Right.
But our future land use map doesn't match that, which makes a lot of sense, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's good. I will entertain a motion.
So this is to recommend the zone change.
Correct.
All right, then approval for the rezone from A1 to RE30 at approximately 5500 west, 2050 north, Susan Stewart Living Trust.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Appreciate you and thank you.
Future land
All right.
doesn't match our future zoning.
What definitely needs to be fixed. You're right.
I don't know how I didn't.
Mhm.
Look at our future land use map, which that's what we're.
All right, let's have a discussion motion for the development agreement for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for the 3650 West North Plain City Road. Is there a representative here, Mr. Davy? Come on up. So we've got an agreement,
Yes,
and you've talked to the property owners of the protection strip. That's not part of this agreement, right?
it's not part of that agreement because the property owners under this agreement would just go directly to the city.
Go directly to the city.
Wouldn't affect the church, yeah.
Okay, so So this will take it back to the original plan, right?
That's right. The original site plan and conditional use that was already approved stands. And this is just an agreement to say that the church is gonna put in those improvements along 3650.
All right, and Dan, you had a chance to look at this. You gave some recommendations to the agreement.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I ended up back and forth. I was in conversation with their attorney today, and yeah, everything looks good off of that. So, and they did and that's why I ended up putting development / maintenance agreement, because they are agreeing to maintain that sidewalk and park strip, whatnot. Since it's not part of that site, then like I said, so when they end up doing something with that south property, then that's when, if a new buyer buys that and develops it, then it states it in that agreement that the new owners of that property would be responsible for that section of sidewalk and park strip. So, and the attorney added that today, just so the church wouldn't have to maintain it if somebody else bought the property on the south side. But yeah, everything looks good.
Okay. Any concerns on the agreement from the commissioners? Questions?
So the church is gonna they're gonna do the improvements and then continue to do the maintenance going forward.
Correct.
Okay, but the city's gonna technically own the last little bit of the strip
That's right.
along the
Yeah,
along
that
the road.
protection strip would go into church, or into the city right of way.
Okay,
That's right.
directly to the city, not through the
Directly to the city, yes.
But you guys will maintain it
Yes.
going forward, okay. That's what I understood from last week, I'm good to go. Thanks for your patience and.
Yep, thank you.
So what happens if it doesn't go to the city? Like, do we already have an agreement for that?
With the with that.
I mean, just
protection
you build
strip.
your fence, and then we just have what is already there now?
Well, I
With
think,
the
Yeah, because
protective strip?
we'd kind of discussed, Mr. Hall wasn't sure if he was, what he was gonna do. Do we have any news on that?
my understanding was he's reached out to the city and is willing to.
He's still gonna donate it to the
Correct.
city?
Hmm.
Is that how you understood it, Dan? Have they?
That's who I got the information
Okay.
from.
Yeah, I'm just asking because if we're entering into an agreement where they're gonna do it, but yet we never own it.
Right.
Like,
No,
you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm asking, so.
No,
Well,
I had some emails with Dan as well as a couple phone calls about it.
Yeah. that's
Okay.
just-
Okay.
And at that point, that's what, if you look at the plat, we've got 30 feet on the east side, and we have 27 something on the west side. This will give us our full 60-foot right-of-way by turning that protection strip over to the city, and then that's where, and the church will own property from the back of sidewalk like
just like
everybody else.
normal,
Yeah.
But since it's not part of that site plan, at that point, that's where the agreement comes from, for them to put in those improvements and also maintain it in the future.
Perfect.
You're just saying right now, if I understand what you're saying right now, we're just in a verbal contract that this is all gonna happen with the landowner. And if it doesn't happen for some reason, then what, right? That's kind of.
That's what I'm asking,
Yeah.
yeah, 'cause I'm just saying
Then it
if
just
they,
don't-
if the owners decide it's not whatever beneficial for them to give that to, directly to the city, because we talked about the church, I'm just asking what happens and are we okay with it? That's all I'm asking. I'm not against anything, I'm just asking what happens,
Sure.
so.
Wouldn't we just go back
Valid
to the
concern.
previously approved?
Right, that's what, he
Site
would just
plan.
they'd build their wall and we'd just have whatever empty space there was,
I
that's
see where
already
you-
there now.
Yep, I
So,
totally see.
okay, I just wanted to make sure that that's what we understood.
And the owner would have to maintain it. on
Yes,
the other
owner
side.
So
means.
this development agreement here is totally contingent on that property getting turned over to the city recording it, and if that doesn't happen, at that point, we just go back to the originally approved site plan, so that way you guys aren't held up, you guys can do whatever you gotta do.
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page, that's all.
Okay. No, that's perfectly fine. Motion?
I will make the motion to recommend approval of the development agreement for the church 3650 West, North Plain City Road.
Okay, second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion is unanimous. All right, thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Davy,
very
appreciate it.
Tell Matt he can get some work done now.
All right. Go grab him.
Matt's great. He's probably, don't tell him this, but he's probably the best structural engineer in the state.
I would second that motion.
Great to
I've
work
worked
with.
with Matt too. In the state, out of the state, out of the country too. All right. So we've got a couple discussions on ordinances. I would like to move those to the bottom and we'll get these administrative items done. We'll do that. And if we run out of time, we at least discuss one of them and maybe we'll do that. As long as you guys are okay with it, that's what we'll do.
What's that?
We'll put the discussion on the ordinances, chapter 7, chapter 21, toward the end of the meeting. And we'll do the administrative items right now.
I think the only person we would hold up would be Craig Jensen, and I don't think he has anything better to do tonight.
Well, Mr. Jensen, why don't you come on up? Is it?
Bad program there, Craig.
Want me to state my name again?
Yes, please.
Craig Jensen. I live at 3746 North, 3900 West, City Ogden.
Okay. And this is just a subdivision?
Yep, it's a
Okay.
small little subdivision.
I think we pretty much covered everything at our last meeting.
We did,
We just couldn't approve it based on, it wasn't on the agenda, right?
right? And the consensus was that everything looked good and we had no issues with it.
I
Okay?
I like that part.
You know, we do too, when there are no issues, so. All right, if there are no questions, then I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to, we recommend, we can just approve this.
We are
can't
approving. Mhm.
Make a motion to approve the Legacy Heights subdivision number 240500021 and part of 240500062 and 240500053, 12 lot Craig Jensen.
Okay, got a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank
Thank you
you.
very much, sir.
Thank you all. I appreciate your time.
Always good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks, Tammy.
Okay, now we have a discussion for a Braden Hess property located at 2950 West, 1975 North. You're Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my name is Braden Hess. I'm a resident of Davis County in Kaysville. I'm interested in purchasing the property. It's currently for sale, and I'm new to this whole world of development, so I'm
Oh, boy.
full of questions. I'm an attorney, so full of them.
This could be a tawdry world then, but you're an attorney, so.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so what you've got is a small property, you just have 4 lots. Is that what I'm to understand?
Yeah, four or five is what I'm.
Okay, it's a 2 acre lot now, and you're thinking of subdividing into 4 or 5, depending
Correct.
on what you
Yes,
can get.
yes.
Okay,
I'm in talks with the current owner of possibly purchasing the house and the garage that's behind it as well, so it
Okay.
would be included. It'd probably come to about 2.5 acres is what would be developable. So I guess my question is, it's currently zoned for RE20, but the future use, I couldn't completely tell on the map that you have online. Can it be rezoned to RE15? Is that what the future use?
when I looked at it, I thought that was the case. But that is one of the reasons we are opening up our general plan, is to address that issue with regards to the clarity of that map. Commissioners, have you had a chance to look at that? Do you see the same thing that I did?
Oh man, this is gonna be like right on that. So that's the medium density residential two, right? Is that what,
MD2?
and what is that? You guys defined that after I came around. I don't know what
Hold
that means.
on, I had it open. I
Me too.
don't know why I don't.
After I stopped coming to these meetings.
So MD2, this is how it's defined. This land use category is for lots 15,000 square feet or greater.
Okay. And it, yeah, it'd be all in that. So what is that, there's that Sunset Meadows subdivision, phase two, what is that? What lot size is that?
Sunset Meadows?
Yeah,
Who is the property owner on that?
Oh, you're looking at the, from the
It says
geo.
.45 on the map. Well, the ones on the one side are, the other side are
You're on the GeoGizmo?
.4. Well, no, it's Onyx, but it just gives you the lot size.
Right.
so I was wondering what they stayed at, if they kinda wanna match the same, cause he's hooking into that subdivision. That's
Sure.
Doing a
Tammy.
cul-de-sac coming
Nice
in
to meet
there,
you.
and you wanna, the other thing you don't wanna
1975.
do is
And then
what that turnaround is meant for from the fire department coming in and then going around,
where the turn is,
Right.
mess that up, so,
to the very.
no matter what you end up doing.
So would you have to extend that turnaround?
No, cause
Okay, I'm
right
not
now, there's not a turnaround. I don't know, there's not a turnaround at all right there. It just dead ends in the map, at least.
You talking about 2050?
Is that what that road is?
I think so.
What that is?
Or is it 2025?
It doesn't look, just say,
2050, you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
2050 dead ends
Yeah, it's
into.
2050.
Okay. I should
Yeah, I
probably
don't
be
know,
looking at
are
an
we gonna be, so are you planning on just bringing 2050 out and then doing,
Yeah, doing a
Cul-de-sac?
cul-de-sac, yep.
I don't know if we'll have, cause what's the distance on that stub road?
it's not that far, it's only 3 lots, so,
So that's 300 feet, we only allow, what is it, 400 feet
I
for
think
a-
it's more, I think it's like 600.
for a cul-de-sac,
Six-
yeah, that's one.
It has to meet certain exceptions to be 600.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's true. 400, cul-de-sacs shall not be longer than 400 feet from the center line of the adjoining street to the center.
and you're
turn.
already at 358 feet,
So extending that probably wouldn't
Or,
be possible.
and you need to have a, what is it, 100-foot radius, or is it a?
For a turnaround?
it's not less than 100 feet to back of curb in diameter, top.
So, I mean, you're pretty much looking at just putting the bulb of the cul-de-sac right there, because you're
Right
going
where it's ended.
center of it, and then however many lots you can fit on the bulb of a cul-de-sac.
Okay. So it wouldn't be able to look like the cul-de-sac that's just to the north of 2050 on 2100, because it doesn't have that.
Yeah, because that
Connecting.
Because
cul-de-sac
we're measuring from the intersection.
75.
I see.
Yeah, and in that case, because you've got that intersection, that's where the road would start, was from that intersection point where you're getting though, because there are no crossroads, that's,
You know, you're starting at
Going from three,
yeah.
yep, okay.
Now,
So the bulb would have to be right at the,
at this.
Yeah, and I'm just measuring it on the map here, just to the edge of that road, to your property line.
yeah,
You're looking at 358 feet,
But it doesn't.
and you've got to have a
Like-
100-foot radius, and we measure from center of bulb
Oh.
to center of street, so
Should be
by the time you
subdivided
put that
Is an infill and surround.
50-foot,
Okay.
to the center of your
Special
bulb,
exceptions
that's pretty much all you're gonna be able to fit right there, is just the bulb.
it's just the bulb, okay,
More than 600 feet.
okay.
I mean,
Um,
you'll have a hard time getting your
Just 600 would be
100-foot.
Yeah, and you'll probably end up having to come in for a variance on that on that cul-de-sac.
Okay,
And I,
So it would comply with
cul-de-sac
that, then?
variance, we would allow up to 600 feet, but
That's what he's saying, yeah, and then.
probably not going, and I don't know, probably not gonna allow. That's pretty much just gonna give you room for the bulb itself, not necessarily to add more to the stem.
okay.
Yeah, you're
So,
about
so
360, 350, right?
the code right now says it can be 400 feet from the center of the bulb to the
Center of the road,
center of,
intersecting road.
okay, so the center of 3000 West.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you're saying I could come and get a variance to make it so it could be 600 feet?
It's not a variance, it's an
It's an
exception.
exception.
An
Okay.
exception, up
But
to
it just
600.
requires
Where-
additional,
What's the code reference there?
it would be
11?
1153 under streets.
Okay,
So take a look at that.
okay, will do.
I think that meets all the criteria for that exception.
Yeah.
Take a look, yeah. Then it'd be able to go up to 600 feet, so take a look at that. and see-
Okay.
Well, and there are other things that it says that, but
Okay, great. When it comes to just developing land in general, sorry if this is too general a question
It's
for
good.
the public. The next step would be for me to get a survey and get engineering plans and then do a technical review, is that right?
well, what is it zoned at currently?
What is it?
Currently,
Essentially, you'd want to
RE20.
draw up like a rough draft that shows your lot sizes, your frontages.
Yeah.
Because all those are gonna play a factor. They have to be 100-foot frontages, 15,000 square feet minimum. So yeah, you'd have to have someone draw that up and just see if it all fit and how it would fit and if you can meet the ordinance, basically.
Okay,
What's the current zone on that?
I believe it's RE20.
Yeah,
So it's RE20, you'd want to see if you could go to an RE15.
Correct.
So you'd have to come in for a rezone,
Yeah,
which is a legislative, decision, right?
would that exception for the length of the cul-de-sac be in the same discussion, or is that different?
I think that's a site plan related,
It'd be different.
yeah.
Okay,
But you'd come in for that rezone, and we'd want to see a concept, just how you were planning on dividing the lots,
Yeah.
and things like that. That would go through us, we'd recommend it, we'd have to have a public hearing, then a discussion motion from us, which is a recommendation. Then
what
it
we
would-
just heard several of, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd have to have one because of a legislative nature. And then we'd recommend it to city council with whatever motion we give.
Yeah.
A recommendation, and the city council may have the final decision on that. Then you got the rezone. Then you come back here to planning commission for the site plan process.
Okay.
So,
The site plan process is I've got an initial,
a preliminary and a final. So,
Okay.
once it kicks in, there's a timeline that you're in. You come in for the preliminary, we look at it, we give you, a motion on the preliminary with maybe some contingencies, depending on the nature. With regards to that would be where you would want to come in with the road extension.
Okay.
Okay? And then we'd come in for a final.
okay,
So, you have several, it's at least 4 or 5, I'd say 2 for the rezone, 1 for the public hearing, 1 for the motion, then you go to council, then at least 2 planning commission meetings for preliminary and final, yeah, depending on. So it is a process.
yeah,
Thank the state of Utah for that process. So,
okay,
but that's what we're told we need to follow.
okay. And then after the final plat, sorry, what were you gonna say?
So,
No, I was just gonna say, so essentially, if you were getting started, you'd probably just get a rough concept with dimensions on it
Okay,
from your architect, and then you could bring that to a technical review, right? And then
Yeah.
you could say, hey, does it look like this is meeting the city ordinances, and they could give you a rough idea. I mean, you're not gonna interrogate the whole thing, but they could give you a rough idea, yeah, it looks like it might fit, or I don't think it's gonna fit.
okay,
And then at that point, if you deem, okay, I think I can make this work, then your first step would be rezone and then subdivision approval.
Okay.
So so.
Okay, and once it's,
That- That's what Jared said, but I think the first step is just,
You gotta
you can have a
engage
rough concept and see if it's
engage a
even
civil
gonna work.
engineer.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I was gonna say,
They
Jared and Mike
provided-
would beg to
Is
differ.
this kind of what you're planning
Civil
to do?
engineer.
Yeah, that's a rough
Sorry,
draft
civil
that I
engineer, yeah.
made up online.
Disciplinary practice, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that one, the
Still
lot
practice.
sizes are 20,000
About that with Doc.
square feet. I'm also looking at doing 15,000 square feet and getting rid of the garage that's in the back
Okay.
and doing 5 lots instead of 4. So after the final plat is approved for subdivided, it gets recorded with the county, and then at that point, they're separate lots. Is that right?
They're separate lots. You can go through the selling process of the lots.
At
and
what point is
apply-
bond needed?
What's that?
At what point is bond needed for developing the horizontal infrastructure?
A bond?
Yeah, is that,
When you start the subdivision, before you get when you
Okay.
get approval to start, you have to basically escrow, and
Okay.
then you can start. I think you have to escrow the amount of the subdivision, and then they release the funds with you as draws as you go through the subdivision.
oh, okay, so for the full amount.
So if you figure it's gonna cost $500,000 to install the subdivision, you'll escrow that money with the city, and then the city will release it with you as you pay everything off as you go type thing, and then they'll hold a percentage at the end for a warranty period.
Okay, okay. Okay, great.
Then you can get,
I interrupted you, I apologize.
I said, then you can, then once you have all that, you have your lots, get your you can get your plans and permits. Then you can engage an architect if you want. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. He's smiling, I'm guessing you're an architect?
No, he's an architect, I'm
You're
an
an
engineer.
Okay,
And a structural engineer too.
okay. Got it all here. So is,
Not a civil.
besides the length of the cul-de-sac, are there any other red flags that you can see on this?
I don't see anything.
I would say your frontages.
Okay.
And then that,
It needs to be 100
Just-
feet, is that what it is?
Yeah, just looking at this, and it's.
Not
and it's
much.
100 feet on your setbacks, right?
and- yeah.
100 feet of your setbacks.
Okay.
And that's where you would engage your civil engineer and try and look
See if
at
it's
that and see
possible.
how it's possible. If you could do 4 or 5, like you mentioned, that's where you'd figure that out.
Okay.
Okay?
And what's there's a minimum for behind the house as well?
Minimum rear yard setback,
Yep, yep.
that's in our ordinance.
Okay, I'll take a look at that.
And side yards too.
Yeah, okay. Well, perfect, thank you for your time, I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
My
thank you.
questions.
All right. We probably have time to discuss one of these. Any preferences? Senior housing or detached DADUs? What's your preference? Tammy, what's yours?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's, I look at
They're
the
both
pic-
pressing, right? Would you say senior housing is more? For the senior housing?
200.
Okay,
But he's gonna have more road.
okay. I do remember there was one. I don't believe it does, Tammy. I think if we want to do something different, it's up to the jurisdiction, and we can override the state code. Right. And it depends on your city class, as well. So I think we're Class C, if I remember right, under 10,000. Yeah, under 10, I think, is Class C. I can't remember for sure. You did. For ADUs? Okay.
Has an overall maximum, but it has maximums for different lot sizes or lot zones, yeah. I did like that, yeah, it is nice too, yeah.
I think that's the one I found. And I just looked at different ordinances.
So I know a couple months ago, they brought up the fact that whether or not we allowed DADUs in A1 and A2, And as I read through the ordinance, I don't see anything that tells them that they can't have them in A1, A2.
Are there any zones where we shouldn't allow?
But I think that the ordinance specifies where it's allowed. It doesn't say
Well,
where it's not.
It's a
but it
minimum lot,
specifies
it's based
where
on
It
lot.
just says minimum lot size
Yeah.
Yeah.
is 18,500. Well, A1 and A2 both fall under that minimum.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So the only place that I would say that you wouldn't be able to allow one would be RE 15 and smaller, which, do we want DADUs in, I mean, RE 15, you've already got some pretty small backyards and whatnot, and then,
Good question.
you know, I
What do you think?
definitely don't want anything in smaller than RE 15, but do we allow something in RE 15?
Hold on.
I don't think,
You're saying keep it at 18.5?
well, I thought you meant, I thought your question was, do we allow it now?
No, right now we don't, but
That's what I was saying.
should we, or,
So is it the other thing I was wondering about while I was reading through this is a detached accessory dwelling unit, do you have to sleep there? Or if somebody's building a outside office, does that count?
An office or
Like a
well, I
home
think,
Oh,
office?
because this
it's
is a
not part-
dwelling unit.
yeah, I think a
Have to
dwelling,
actually
you have to live there,
You have to live in.
and I
So
think
an individual could
but-
put an office on there,
But if they do an office with water, heat, and power,
Right.
and a toilet,
now it would just be at home.
you could live there.
occupation, right?
if
Somebody could sleep out there. That's what, so how do you enforce that? And oh, it's just an office.
Well, and I think everything,
So, I mean, it gets gray and it gets hard to
you know,
enforce.
are you, and I think it would fall under, are you leasing that office space? Because if my wife's
Well,
mad at
it'd
me and I
just
wanna
be-
go
it'd
sleep in
just
the
be-
barn, you shouldn't be able to tell me I can't go
there. So if somebody's wife says, Jared,
it's somebody outside that family is renting that office. It's a little different story. Are they renting that office space as office
Right.
space, and then do they have the proper permits for that? And then, like you say, are they living in that office space?
Right.
That'd be a question for Trent, and I think the law is that it's up to the interpretation of the inspector, or like it would be up to his interpretation as to if it was a proper DADU or not.
Right.
And so it would depend on what he read from here and how he interpreted it. And so we could ask him how he interprets it and see if we need to make any changes, I suppose, but that's what we would go off of, you know, if we had a question about it now, is whatever his interpretation of what's written.
I mean, the other thing that you're gonna run into in the development of a DADU is that you have to meet the same setbacks as the accessory building, so if you're already building a house that's hitting the setback, you're not gonna build an extra building behind it, cause you can't meet the setbacks. Does that make sense?
Well, the setbacks are 5 feet.
Yeah, there's not much for setback. I mean, you gotta be 10 feet behind the house and 5 foot off property lines.
They are now.
Mm-hmm.
When'd you guys change that?
I know, I literally
Trust me, I say that at work a lot. When did that change in the code?
just went through,
that was 3 codes ago, Matt.
unless it's like a corner lot.
We did change the accessory dwelling
Okay,
setbacks, and they match now the detached ones.
okay. Cause I thought they used to be like 30 and 40 feet in our RE 15.
You're right, from the house setbacks in the rear yard?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, they
Yeah,
did.
so that changed when we did it.
'Cause
And
now it's 5
Emily's saying
feet.
it was 6.
I'm
Behind the
showing,
house.
I should have read that.
And you didn't think they did anything after?
Yeah, it can be 6 feet away
I
from
think
the
I did
house.
something. I should have went and read that instead of,
No, so the minimum separation from primary dwelling is 10 feet.
yeah, you have to be 10 feet, you have to be separated by 10 feet, and then you have to meet all the setbacks.
Same as an
And rear
accessory.
setback is same as accessory
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
So that would be 30 feet then.
But the difference is where it says, so an accessory dwelling,
It says the separation.
I believe, has to be 10 feet behind the house, but a DADU, only 25% of the DADU has to be located in the rear yard behind the house.
Okay.
Yes, that's true.
So,
Would it help if I drew up a site? I've got one drawn up for 18.5. I could put it up on the screen and we could tinker with it if you wanted.
There it is, yeah, you have to be 30 feet. It still says 30 feet for a rear setback. Oh, for the main building, accessory building's 5. I got you.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So, first, minimum lot size. Are we good with what we have in our ordinance now, or do we clarify it by saying, this is what we allow in certain zones, and that's how we do it?
Is there a push to allow it? Is that why we're talking
Not the,
The issue that came up was the size of the accessory dwelling units. There is no size
Maximum.
requirement.
meaning that
size requirement?
the,
Yeah,
the
maximum.
size of the DADU is greater than the primary dwelling, and that's not the intent, what we intended for the
Right.
ordinance.
So the only limitation I see is the 25% of the rear yard is the limitation.
Okay?
Yeah, but if you have a 3-acre lot,
Yeah, so if it's a
you
huge
can
lot.
build a
you can make it-
4,000 square foot accessory dwelling.
but if the accessory dwelling is in front of the back of the house, then your setbacks from your property line are now 10 feet, I believe. I know it's like that in A1 and A2.
So you're 25% of the rear yard and 25% of the it shall be in the rear yard.
By the way, there's also a requirement here that it cannot be a height less than 10 feet, and I don't think we need that.
Well, you don't want it to be 4
Building
feet
underground
tall.
bomb shelters.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we don't, okay. Yeah.
I think that was the purpose of that. We didn't want
Because
to,
then they look like
Huts.
potato sellers or, yeah.
yeah.
So if they're able to dig down though and have it go under, we're not gonna allow that? Okay, I just wanted to bring it up.
No, no.
We just
That's
would
good.
require we'd require 2 levels to be over 10 feet,
Mhm.
so they could have a basement.
I think the biggest
Right,
thing
but
we,
it'd have to be at least 10 feet off the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
the maximum, or the maximum square footage of the ADU. I think that's the most important thing at this point.
So how do we determine that? Would it be equal or greater to, equal or less than the
Well, if you got a
dwelling, or a certain percentage?
4,500 square foot home, you could build a 4,000 square foot
Correct.
ADU. You know, and to me, an ADU is not necessarily for a family of 5 to live in. An
No.
ADU is more of a mother-in-law apartment, or kids just graduated
couple,
college and
yeah.
got married, you know. And I don't see, you know, if we limit it to 1,200 square feet, 1,500 square feet, you know, I think that becomes plenty.
Could it be just the footprint of the living space of the main building? Would that be?
Yeah.
There's some lots in Plain City that have little farmhouses on them, and then have big lots in the back, like they're on big parcels. But they're only like 1,000 square foot homes. on the
Yeah.
main level, like the foot-
And that's what we
That's-
run into the
that's my
problem of.
house.
Now they build their.
Right.
Now they build their ADU in
Okay,
the
yeah,
back,
so-
that's-
so
Don't
can
get
you
rid of the goats.
and they rent out the
Like the
front
goats.
and live in the back. And I think that's what we're
To your
trying to
neighbors.
get away from.
Every time Margot walks by, says,
We want them, you know, the main building to be the larger of the two.
You want the one that's limited, that's regulated by frontages and side yards. to be
Yeah,
this-
but
the
now-
primary building, and then the accessory to be the smaller backyard dwelling.
And so if we do like a percentage, at that point, now if we say we go 50% as the main building, and you got 1,000 square foot main building, now you can only build a 500 square foot ADU. You know, but if we limit, and I believe it was, I can't remember if it was Far West or one of the ordinances that Tammy set out, it said, that, you know, there had a 1,500 square foot maximum or.
Well, the Willard one has, so the Willard one says basically a half acre or smaller is 1,000 square feet max. 27,000 square foot, which is
Half to full.
half to half to
Three-quarter, not
maybe.
three.
I-
2/3 to a full
Yeah, yeah.
I think that would be
is 1250, and then over an acre is 1500.
So we'd have to designate it according to lot sizes, is what Willard has done.
which, and I don't
could.
actually see,
That's just an idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that that's kind of going down the right route that we're looking at, you know?
Okay.
Because if you do have, you know, you say you're sitting on a 4-acre lot, you know, to put a 1,500 square foot ADU in the back, that's not going to cause problems with the neighbors. Now, if you're on a 1,500 or 15,000 square foot lot with a 4,500 square foot house, and then you want to put 1,500 square foot ADU behind it, we're starting to get a little tight.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
And now you deal with,
I mean, you could put something that says it has to be at or larger than the primary dwelling, not to exceed these square footages. So if the primary dwelling's 1,000 square feet, then the max you can do is 1,000 square feet in the back on a big lot,
yeah.
you know? Instead of saying. you can
I
only
see what you're
do
saying, to
10%.
prevent them from putting the primary home back, you know, just wanting to build a bigger home.
What do we have in our current ordinance regarding size?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
It just
So
says
we-
it's gotta be,
okay.
it's
That's-
gotta be a
okay.
subordinate,
I thought I was missing.
so.
No, we don't have anything, yeah.
Okay.
Second, just related, say you got, thinking about older homes. Lots of times they'll have a big, huge barn already there, done. Or maybe they put in a pole barn, put in a loft. But this pole barn's 50 by 50, so it's
It's a good sized pole barn.
2,500 square feet. But it's tall, but then they end up putting a loft in there that they could rent out. Because it's big enough, you can do it.
I think it would just be
Are
limit,
we trying to limit that as well?
yeah, I think it would be
Because
like a living space.
there's a lot of people that have that kind of space already in Plain City.
I mean,
like,
Dustin could put a
I know of a
fourplex
couple in
in
our
his.
yard, in our
Dustin could put
neighborhood.
12 in his.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would I would think you could put one in them.
Yeah, I think
But
you
it
could
can't-
put
it
it in,
still has to meet the
but the living
dwelling
space,
Like, so when you say
living space
dwelling
would have
space,
to be
you're not
that
including
square
the
footage.
whole
Yeah.
footprint.
So are we not including the whole footprint of the,
Right.
of the pole
Just-
barn and
just the
whatever
living
else is back
space.
there?
And there are also code issues with regards to fire rating that you'd
Yeah,
have.
they'd have to do the 5/8. But I believe it says something about having a DADU inside of a detached garage. That once again, it doesn't say
You don't
the
say anything about it.
size.
I didn't remember somebody saying anything about it.
And I seen it somewhere, I can't remember if it was detached or attached.
Oh. No, it just says within a garage carport. Yeah, I don't remember anything specifically about that.
I like the verbiage though on this paragraph 3 of the Willard ADU. And maybe we start with that and look at it and see, because the rest of this, if I'm looking at this paragraph 3 of B, well, it's kind of in a weird spot. We've covered the 25% of the yard area.
That paragraph covers what we're talking about right now.
Right, exactly.
The square footage numbers include livable space and the ADU, and do not include any attached storage or garage space subject to the detached ADU.
I think we could include some verbiage or that and add that to part of our detached accessory dwelling unit. Now, I just don't know if we just add it to, what's that?
We're on this part.
Their
where it's
exterior lighting thing's nice too.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
Yeah.
right above it where it says parcel size, we're right in that paragraph.
Hell, it is.
I think we could add it to our 10-21-3 and make a whole new paragraph, a paragraph.
So here's where
G?
it says above or behind a detached garage.
Yeah.
So it would be
Yeah.
in the loft of the,
Obviously Willard had to address this a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
They've had issues with it.
They've had issues
It's-
with this
Yep.
already.
It
Yep.
seems
That's what
pretty
happens.
evident to me.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
There's nice things in there though, right?
You're right, they've thought about this, they've
Yeah.
gone through it.
Cause that's why we limited ours, well, I guess did we have one story in there? I thought we did, didn't we? Has to be, it's only one story? Or did I lose the battle on that? That's what I wanted to do.
We just
and I
said
lost the
10 feet
battle.
or 25. We didn't,
Yeah.
it doesn't say anything about how many stories.
I think when we did this, I was proposing it's only one story, so that if there was so you're not up on a perch looking at everybody's, your neighbor with a pool or whatever,
Well, and Willards does say that they can't have windows
Right.
located above a detached garage facing adjoining properties.
So that addressed kind of what my concern was.
Yeah, unless it's
Privacy fences, but
required.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it does say that, yeah, that they have to be opaque or flat frosted, yeah.
Another thing that Willards does show is if it's part of an existing accessory structure such as a detached garage or shed, it has to have typical footing and foundation,
Oh.
which that
so
would
that
eliminate
eliminate
the
a
pole barn, right?
For sure.
Which I'm not sure we want to include. I don't see a reason why we would include that. That would be meaning like you couldn't put,
As a structural engineer, I wouldn't live
yours.
in a house that was on a pole barn. But that's just me.
You wouldn't?
No, I would not.
You wouldn't what?
I wouldn't live in a pole barn.
Oh, I heard the pole barns are the safest buildings if there's an earthquake.
I've heard the
No.
same thing.
That's what I have
It's a
heard.
negatory. They're not
Right.
dangerous.
I agree, I mean, I agree with Josh, I don't think we wanna limit that.
Yeah, I wouldn't limit, like I say, I look at some of the pole barns that are in the city right now, that you could put easily 1,000 square foot living area in it. I don't see why we would limit that, because it doesn't have a footing and foundation, To me, other than the 6 inches of concrete that comes above grade, what's really the difference?
The structure itself's already got footings and stuff.
Yeah, it's going down, them poles are going down 3 feet, sitting on top of a footing surrounded by concrete, so.
I'm aware of a few pole barns already in the city that have little apartments in them, and they're pretty nice,
Yeah.
but.
That thing's gonna be here all night.
Yeah.
Then it just becomes a
The fly?
condominium.
Does it bug you too?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we could add that, at least the square footage part to it and add it to like a paragraph G of R 10-21-3, an additional paragraph.
I personally, thinking about this coming in, would like to make it to where it cannot exceed in size of the primary structure that's on the lot.
Yeah.
Maybe that's another thing we could add here.
Just to maintain balance with it.
Yeah, so you still have the 1,500 square foot on a certain lot, 1,000, 1,250, but if you've got that 4-acre lot and it's only 1,000 square foot home, you can only put 1,000 square foot DADU, not the 1,500 square foot.
Right.
So I agree with you on that. I think that's a good idea.
So maybe a subheading,
But that's just me. I mean, I'm just throwing.
No, I'm on
no,
board.
it's fine.
I think that would prevent people from building that larger home in the backyard and then move it, to eliminate a flat, it's a DADU, but now I'm living in that and I'm renting out the smaller home behind me or in front of me.
Right, right.
So maybe a paragraph that says, let me just write this. DADU shall not be of a size greater than the primary unit, the primary dwelling, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Tammy, I'll send this to you. I'll send this to you. Okay.
So which ones there's lots of the things in the Willard one of their standards that I like.
Okay, what else?
Like the A, it shall be a permanent structure, trailers, mobile homes, and other movements shall not be permitted. I don't know if we already say something like that. I couldn't remember saying things. Exterior lighting, the all of B, at least something like it, because it talks about stairways and landings. It has the size that we're talking about, the 25% available yard area we already have, and then the other thing about the lot coverage, to not allow balconies and rooftop decks, and also the windows. Those things are, kind of seem like they'd be good ideas to have
Okay.
in there. I was trying to figure out where they would go.
Where would we fit them into our ordinance then?
Yeah, that's where I was trying to figure it out.
Or are we getting to a point where we're creating Frankenstein's monster here? You know what I
No,
mean?
I think they work. I mean, you can,
Okay.
because I think you can do,
General regulations, right?
yeah, because it fits in our paragraph E. These things, we have a development standard
Mm-hmm.
right there, and we just say shall meet the following, you remove the height, size, and setback thing. And then you just say shall meet the following requirements, and then you can, I think you can leaf in some of this stuff into that same paragraph E
Okay.
pretty easily. And if you want, I can try and work on that while we're going tonight.
Go for it.
Okay.
And really quick, just to go back to Josh's point, though, if you look at 1021-3A, it, correct me if I'm wrong, but it says that owner occupied, and it says the owner of the property occupies either a portion of the primary dwelling or a detached DADU of the same residential lot. So now we currently allow them to live in either one.
One or the other, yeah.
And I think it's okay if they live in either one, but I don't want them building, that's what brought up,
Their primary, like.
yeah,
Joel-
that's what brought up this whole problem was,
And
we
renting
got a
out the-
small house in front, we're gonna build a huge house in the backyard, call it an 88
And I just wanted to make sure that
ADU.
we,
Yeah, and then go live
Because-
in that rather than live in the primary home.
as long as they're living on the primary property,
Yeah,
then we're good. They'll live in the new house and rent out the old farmhouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which might be fine if they're a little older, or they wanna rent their family house out and move into their little ADU in the back and have it smaller on one level or something, you know, I don't, you know.
when it comes to like Willard's ordinance for exterior lighting, any light source for a detached accessory dwelling unit shall not encroach or be visible from adjacent properties. I can see the lights on, the whole visible part. I can see Gary's light on his barn from my house.
No, my wife turns it off every night now.
But you know what I'm saying, like, a light being
For that
visible from somebody else's property and encroaching on somebody else's property.
Notice
are
he
two
said
different things.
not Gary,
Yeah.
but Becky does.
I would leave it on.
I think the intent behind that is good, but it's.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
But it also says, like, the confusing thing is where it says, are located, let's see, facing adjoining properties, wouldn't every side of your building technically face an adjoining property?
100%, other than the front if it's facing the back of your house, but eventually it will face,
Right.
yeah, so
Adjoining
you can go,
The other three sides would,
yeah,
technically. I mean,
technically,
you
yeah.
might be 5 foot from this property, but, and 60 or 80 from
Yeah.
that, but technically it's still facing.
And it
I
gives
don't
you,
know what that
unless you're
means.
required by building health and fire codes. I mean, that's the one thing.
But then they gotta
If it's
put-
code required, which a bedroom has to have a window.
but then it has to
That's
be
required.
frosted, translucent, or stain type, so you can't see out of the window.
Out or in?
Yeah, you can't see
I
out.
don't know.
Non-see-through window.
That's kind of the part that, when we were looking at this before, like when I was thinking about if my neighbor had an ADU, like, I'm fine with that, but I don't want it to be a tower in the backyard of mine and they can sit up there and just watch me like this in my backyard. Like, I don't like the
Yeah.
privacy invasion of that.
I've got 20 houses that were allowed to be built around my house that every one of them can see in my back window,
Yeah.
as primary homes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, there's no avoiding that, you
And
know
a
what I mean?
park.
But like,
I see what you're saying.
you know what I mean? There's a big separation right now, that the rear yard setbacks of a primary dwelling right now, the 30 feet or whatever, that makes it 60 feet from the neighbor's house or whatever. With the ADU going 5 foot off the property line, now you're 5 foot off looking,
Yeah, but now I look at like your building. If you had windows in your building in the upstairs, and are you gonna be able to see inside your neighbor's house any different than your primary structure seeing You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my situation, I would be able to see more
Yeah.
because I'm looking back at the back of the houses, but a lot of subdivisions where
Yeah,
the backyards butt up to each other, you're staring at each other anyway, but.
Yeah, I don't know how we would,
Food for thought.
I don't know, yeah.
We can still, refine this.
yeah.
So I'm gonna send Tammy where where we discussed putting the size of the building as from the Willard ordinance, and then adding that, I'll send that to her. And then Matt, you've got some with regards to, some standards?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I'm working on it. What, that size is in the standard.
right.
It should go in in that
Correct.
E paragraph.
Yeah, I'm proposing to add paragraph G.
We'll just need to.
Okay.
kinda-
Did you go off of, when you went on the square footage of the lot, did you kind of use the same numbers Willard did? Or
I
can
did.
we say,
I would.
kind
I
of
would-
closer to our zone,
our zone.
15,000 square foot lot?
Absolutely, we could.
18,000, you know what I'm saying? But even if you have an 18,500 square foot lot in an RE 15 zone, it still falls under that 18,500.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just so our numbers kind of jive with our code a little bit rather than
I like it.
21,762 square feet.
It's a good idea.
Pretty sure that's why we worded it that way, is the case that they have the zone for 15,000, but if they choose to make them bigger, then
Mm-hmm.
do that, so. Same as with like animal rights and things like that. If you have bigger properties, even though it's zoned, that you have the opportunity to do smaller and still be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Should we add impact fees?
Should what?
Add impact fees.
I think we've already got impact fees.
Are there?
Yeah, which I'm not sure how you,
Where does it?
I don't think we do have impact fees, honestly. They do?
yeah.
For ADUs, we
It
have.
just says, water and sewer impact fees are required when adding a DADU. Okay,
Is that the Willard one or? Oh,
that's ours. I just read that ours.
Okay.
It's the last sentence, that's why I missed it. I didn't get all the way down to that.
Now, do we have impact fees even though they're connected to the same sewer
Yeah.
as the home?
Yeah, you don't have, it says you don't have more than one, even though you have them, you still need to pay the impact fees. And because you're gonna increase your water
Yeah.
usage. from
So-
what you've been doing, but anyway.
If there's if there's an existing shop on a property that has sewer and water hooked up to that shop, once it becomes a DADU, then they have to pay the impact fees for that, correct?
Right.
Not necessarily pay the impact fees while it's still just a garage or a shop.
Cause obviously as a garage or a
Yeah.
shop, it's not gonna be used.
already
the
Yeah,
sewer's
I'm
not
either
gonna be
using the
used near
inside
as
the
much.
house or using the shop. I'm using one or the other. But once you have to get your occupancy permit and that.
Once somebody's actually living there, the water and the sewer increase is gonna go up.
Would it be grandfathered if it's existing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Makes sense.
So Dustin,
Yes, sir.
so 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. I mean, if that matches our RE 20, RE 30, RE 40, right?
What about 18.5?
I was going 20,000 or smaller.
Okay, I think that covers it.
So 15 and 18 end up being the same.
Yes, exactly.
15, 18, and 20 would be the same, and then 30 and 40.
Right. I mean, that's just the numbers that we're closer to.
Yeah, I think that's
22.
fine.
So are you going 20,000 and smaller and 20,000 and one and bigger?
Yeah.
Or 19,999 and smaller and 20,000 and bigger?
20,001.
But it still has to be 18.5 or bigger to have an ADU, and right, right now, the 18.
Yeah, unless we change that, yeah.
Right.
That's true.
But
But
that's
we
a
do have
good-
a lot of lots in Plain City that are still zoned
Do we,
RE20.
do we care if a half
So
acre has-
my home's RE20.
Yeah, we do have a lot of RE20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a lot. It's actually most of Plain City.
I'd like to rezone mine to A1 if I could.
Did you guys rezone that, by the way?
Where,
Carson Road?
So we
Tried to not listen.
All right.
recommended
I'll ask you later.
Can I ask,
I think you're ready to go home.
can I
Rob's
ask
ready
one
to
a
go
question
home.
first?
Okay.
Because in West Haven, they have a dwelling unit occupancy limit. Is that something?
Ooh, that's,
How do you enforce that?
Yeah, I know, but
And then they get into code-related issues too, right? So you could get a different occupancy number and you could justify it by saying, code says I can do this. You know what I mean?
Well, and it falls under, he doesn't live here, he's just on vacation.
Right.
You know, I
yeah,
don't
and
think,
that's all addressed in here as well. There's a period of, I
Yeah,
think it
we're-
says
we're giving-
14 days is what it's allowed.
well, I think we're creating an ordinance at that point that Dan can enforce. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a firm believer that if we're gonna make a rule or an ordinance,
They'll enforce it.
And how many, there's lots of places where they've got 3 families living in the house, and you can't
you can't enforce that.
enforce that. They don't have an ADU.
I mean, at that point, we are enforcing parking. That is part of here, so.
Yeah.
That is something we can enforce.
Yeah, if they all have their 10 vehicles there, it's like, okay, now you're out of.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. That would help with that.
And yeah, we already have, the rules already in our, for that, so.
I know homes throughout the city that only have 2 licensed drivers and they got like 10 vehicles sitting there.
Really?
Hey, careful. Some of us might meet that. Have more cars than licensed drivers.
I
Probably triple.
Okay, well, Matt and I will work on it then. I think I've got
I've
mine.
got some written down.
Okay, perfect. Matt will send it to me and then I'll send it to you, Tammy, and you can add it to it. So, all right. All right. Report from city council.
What about the senior housing overlay?
We'll do that one another night.
Okay, I just make.
Okay with
I
that?
was all geared up to defend it.
Oh, okay. Well, Tammy's not. Okay. Report from city council.
No report. The meeting was canceled. so.
Lucky you.
Oh.
All right, commission comments. Start down here, Josh.
I'm good right now.
All right.
Maybe circle back in a minute.
Okay, that's fine. Matt?
I don't have anything new.
Dustin?
No, I don't think so.
Rob?
Nothing.
Gary?
Nothing.
I do have, so, yeah, I was looking at the Carson Jones property after
Okay.
we recommended. I cannot find anything in our future, current, anything that shows that that property was designed to be 30,000 square foot. Only thing, and I don't know how I don't know where that 30,000 square foot number came from. Everything I'm finding is 40,000 square foot. So I don't know if anybody else caught that or.
It's back to the future land use plan and making it more clear.
Yeah, I mean, even because our future land use map shows it as
R1, right?
open space, agriculture, and low-density
Yeah.
residential. But then when you go to that,
Go to the.
open space, agriculture, and residential, that is maintained lots that are 40,000 square feet or greater. A1 is 40,000 square feet or greater. I don't see anything where, and that's gonna be up to the city council at this point, because we've already recommended approval.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know how, I didn't catch that prior, but I cannot find anything where it's RE30.
Okay, see, because I got open space, agriculture, low-density residential, and mine says 30,000.
Whoa, now what?
Right there, stop. Go to the second
Green,
one from
the
the
dark
bottom.
green, or the light green.
Mine says 40,000.
It does. There, yeah,
You're in the 2018.
yeah.
What one are you in?
What's it saying?
I'm in.
No, right, go back up. And then right in the very bottom corner, the little gray, what does it say? What's the date?
2018.
That's
What?
weird.
What are you on?
I'm on the same one. And it says 30 on mine.
See, because I remember seeing somewhere at 30.
Right.
Now I can't find it.
Okay. Okay,
Mine says 32, whatever one I'm on.
Yeah.
Did you get to that from the city website?
oh, boy.
So you guys were just thinking that I was loco when I
No,
was telling.
well, we were both looking at it going,
I'm like,
what
I
is
don't
he
know.
talking about?
I don't know where you're looking, but.
See, I know I seen it at 30,000 somewhere before, but
Yeah, that's the one.
that's the only commissioner comments that I have.
Okay. We did interview another city planner, potential city planner, but and we're going to extend an offer to him, at least a temporary offer, but I don't know where that stands, so haven't heard yet. Okay, that's all I had. I will, now entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
All,
Second.
okay, got his motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Josh? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you, guys, appreciate it.
If we make the motion or second the motion, do we have to be in favor also?
Not necessarily.